I came across this article about original art and thrifting it, and it basically just says how it's best to buy original paintings while you're out there thrifting because they actually have a better resale value than the big box retail stores art that you can get, and those are just, you know, of course, pictures to hang on the wall. And in my previous video, I mentioned that I was going to share some of the artwork that I have in my home. So let's just jump right into it. And in my kitchen, this was a vintage piece that I picked up at a thrift store. And this is when I was doing my kitchen. I wanted something that had that 80s, 90s vibe. So this did come in handy when I was doing my kitchen. And this needlework is a picture of an orchid. And I have a friend that does... she and I have a love for orchids, so we always share pictures of our orchids blooming. She surprised me with this needlepoint picture that she did of one of my pictures of my orchids that I sent her. So I thought that was wonderful. And this picture here is a picture of my iris that blooms in my yard. My neighbor took a picture of one of my iris, and then she had it put on canvas and gave it to me as another gift. So again, very thoughtful artwork that I have hanging in my kitchen. These are sentimental value, and I'm very happy to have them displayed. Prior to my dining room makeover, I had this piece of art by Frank Morrison, and it was called Dreamcatcher, circa 2004. And this was a limited edition serigraph that I bought years ago, and I have it now, but I don't have it displayed. It's just stowed away until I find another spot, or I can just rotate my art around. That's a very hard piece to find, and there's one out there that's retailing for $1,200 now. And when I did my dining room makeover, I bought this oil painting landscape, which I liked, and I bought it from a thrift store. And it was something different for me, and I just figured I'd get it and hang it up on the wall. But I eventually resold that, and I made some pretty good money on that piece. Along with this oil painting of chrysanthemums, I resold that too. And these were oil paintings, and I did make, you know, a couple $100 on them, and was glad that I did sell them because that helped pay for my countertops that I was trying to diligently save for in my kitchen. Although I really did like those chrysanthemums, but I could let it go, and like I said, it served its purpose for me for a while. And this lithograph here is by Leroy Campbell. It's called The Right Spot, circa 1991, and me and my sister bought that when it first came out, and I had it framed, and I was so happy. I felt so good that I finally bought a lithograph. It is signed and numbered, and it's a limited edition of 850. So I'm kind of glad I invested in that piece. Now this is called Generations, and I bought this recently at a thrift store, but you could still buy this print. It's an open print, and Amazon I saw one on Amazon for like $100, but it was a smaller size. But for $10, it was framed already, so that was a good investment. And it's not bad, but I did like the way that looked. Again, it spoke to me. So I'll just let this hang for a while until I get tired, and then I'll just switch something around, and who knows what I'll hang there. Now the next piece is by an artist named Alonzo Adams, and it's called The Kiss. And this is by far my favorite piece of art that I have hanging, because I actually bought the frame first. I fell in love with it, and I thought maybe I'll put a mirror in it, but I said, nah, I think I want art. But you know, I didn't have a piece to hang in it yet. I just figured eventually I would find something. I popped into an art gallery in Union, New Jersey, and she said, she introduced me to his art, and she said he's an artist out of Plainfield, New Jersey. So I said, oh, even better. So I found this piece, and I said, you know what? I have the exact frame I want in that picture in. And I brought the frame in and decided on a chocolate suede mat. And when I picked it up, I was blown away. I just think it's just a match made in heaven. And this is a signed and numbered piece, number 81 out of 850. And my next piece is by Caribbean artist Bernard Stanley Hoyes. And this one is called Sharon's Blessing, circa 1983. Again, I don't have this hanging, but I do have it stored away. And my next print is by the artist John Holyfield, and it's called The Toast. Again, I've had all these art pieces from in the late 80s, early 90s, and I have had them hanging in my home for so long, so I just switched them up and where I have them. So I was very fortunate to have all this art stored and when I bought it. Now this piece here is my first original oil painting that I bought from an art gallery in New Jersey, and it's by an artist named Sallie Diaz. New Orleans jazz band. I was heavily and still heavily into jazz, so this was a reflection and made me want to really get to New Orleans, and I couldn't wait to have that kind of art hanging in my house. So I don't have it hanging, but I will again get it reframed and hung. Sallie Diaz also did the watercolor of the woman kneeling down and the embrace hug. So those are two other original paintings that I have by her. The African Woman is a painting done by the artist named Louis Messing, and he's out of New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey. And when I bought this painting, it was at an outdoor flea market, and it was crates of his paintings, and they were selling them for like $40 or $50 each, but the more you buy, you get a bigger discount. So I bought this one, I bought this one, and this was my favorite one by him. It was the first one I picked up, and then I started looking for others because they was on sale. Now I was told this artist passed, and they were just liquidating all his paintings. I mean, he had crates. So if you know anything about the artist of Louis Messing, he was an attorney that passed, let me know. And after pulling out the painting, I figured I'd just hang it on the wall inside the bedroom, and I kind of like it there. And I'm very glad that I did invest in these pieces of art that I can have to rotate around my house and store on my walls. And the picture above it is called Sassy, and it's by a artist. Well, he was an ex-football player, George Nock, and he turned artist, and he made bronze statues, and also he painted. He did painted art. So this one I bought from him directly. He was at a black art showing, and I fell in love with that one. And you know what? Let me tell you about that piece. The day I was buying it, I had already bought quite a few other pieces, and I didn't have enough money on me to buy that particular. It was already framed and everything, and I loved how he had it framed. He actually let me take it with me, and I sent him a check. I couldn't believe it. And of course, I sent him a check and paid for it, no doubt. But I couldn't believe he actually trusted me enough to let me just walk away with that picture. And this painting is a lithograph that I bought before I bought the Sassy one. When I found out that he was going to be at this particular showing, I said, okay, well, let me go see what else he has. But, as I was there, I was visiting others, and I bought stuff. And then when I got to his booth, that's when I found Sassy. But yeah, this one is called Visions, and it is a signed and numbered piece. And I learned that George Nock passed back in 2020. So I am glad that I had the opportunity to meet him. So I also have memorable moments when I bought the art. So that makes it a little bit more personalized to me. Another opportunity I had to meet an artist was when I bought this piece called Testing the Waters. The artist is her name is Sabri, and she was out of Charleston. I went to my first Gullah Geechee festival here when I moved, and I met her, and I liked that piece, so I bought it, and I was glad I did. It took me a while to kind of find the right spot in my home for it, but I finally did. And it didn't happen until I made over this room with the black wall, and it landed there, and it has been perfect ever since. And last but not least is this last print that I have hanging in my bedroom by Alonzo Adams, and it's called Retrospection. And I like this because it was something about her standing at the window, looking out and thinking. I often find myself doing the same thing. So again, art is a reflection of your personality, and you always buy what you love, and you want to create the home that you enjoy coming to. After all, beauty is being home and loving it. I hope you enjoyed this video of my art tour and perhaps became inspired to buy some original pieces for your home. If so, drop me a comment. Don't forget to like and share. Again, my name is Jamela. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Living the Lifestyle of the Thrifting Famous. I'll see you again. Bye.